So a review of the imparfait conjugation, since it seems like that's really the part that we need to focus on the most before we're ready to move on. Seems like we're close, but not quite there. Oops. There we go. All right, so from the very beginning, remember that the imparfait conjugates not from the typical stem of the verb, but from the present tense new form. So figure out whatever the present tense new form is, get rid of the ONS at the end, and whatever you have left is your imparfait stem. Sometimes, for ER and RE verbs in particular, this might be the same thing as the regular stem of the verb, because ONS is the new ending for regular ER and RE verbs. So if we look at an example like aimer, in the present tense we would say nous aimons. By dropping our ONS off, we just end up with the same stem again. Okay, this is really, really common for regular ER and RE verbs. However, IR verbs and almost every irregular, plus things like stem-changing verbs, GER verbs, CER verbs, etc., okay, they end up looking different. So, for example, if we have choisir, in the present tense we say nous choisissons. Remember our IR ending will be ISSONS. So then when we find our ONS and get rid of it, we have choisis left, which is not the same as the original ending. Okay, again, that's most IR verbs and irregulars. So if we look at an example of an irregular verb, they're almost all the exact same. So for example, if we have aller, when we conjugate aller into the present tense new form, we have nous allons. We find our ONS, we get rid of it, and we have all. The one exception is être, because être in the present tense becomes nous sommes. What do? There is no ONS. We can't drop an ONS that doesn't exist. Être is the only verb in the entire French language that doesn't have this. So we're just going to use E accent aigu, T, and then that'll become our stem for être. It's the only irregular one, the only one that must be memorized. Quick review. Conjugate from the new form of the present tense verb, not the infinitive. Drop the ONS to find your imparfait stem, which may or may not be the same as the regular stem. You have to be particularly careful with IR and irregular verbs. And the only one we have to remember is être becomes A. Our imparfait endings then, all we have to do, find that stem, slap on our endings like any other verb tense. So AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, and AIENT. So AAA, EON, EAA. So, complete each one of these sentences by conjugating the given verb into the imparfait. You can write the entire sentence if you feel like it, or you can just give me the verb. It doesn't actually matter to me, but I'm going to give you 5 sentences that go together to form a conversation, and then each one will just be its own line on the devoir. Okay, so sentence number 1. Est-ce que les petits garçons jouaient au train électrique quand tu étais petite, Tanti? So how would you conjugate jouer in the imparfait for this sentence? Question 2. Non, nous ne avoir pas de train électrique. Mais mon frère s'amusait souvent aux billes. Et vous, les filles, qu'est-ce que vous faites? Finally, number 5. Moi, je adorais jouer à la marelle.